Hey you guys, PJD here. Hope you're all doing well. Sorry for not having videos posted recently. Many things have been going on, but I am back, and I could not come back with a what's new this week or some other thing, even though I have tons of things to show you. But I had to come back with my first video being the foundation video because this is long overdue. We discussed several months ago that you guys wanted me to do a review of foundation where I'm actually applying it to my face. That will be done. You also commented that you wanted me to do all 4 of the videos that I had hauled a while back, all 4 of those foundations in one video. So I will do that in this video. 4 foundations will be featured, and let's see what you guys think. You'll be able to judge for yourself because I told you that I would come to you as I am right now, makeup free. I'm going to be looking in the viewfinder from time to time, especially while applying it. But anyway, I'm coming to you makeup free, absolutely nothing on, not even moisturizer. I only wash my face and I'm here before you. I will again wash my face before each new foundation that I apply in this video. So anyhow, so I'm here with absolutely nothing on. I'm going to apply it, and you will be the judge because I told you I wanted to show you with a dark spot on my face, some hyperpigmentation, so you can see, because many of these claim to provide really great coverage. So let's see. Okay, and I wanted you to see the spot that needs to be covered, and here we go. Boom, boom, boom. You can see it even from here. I don't even need to zoom in, but I'll come closer. Look at that. That dark spot that is large and in charge on my face, and I want it gone, covered, not visible. So I mean, normally I would be just fine going outside with nothing on anyway, but if I am going to put on a foundation, and one that claims to cover, it better cover. So for the first of the 4 that I'm going to be reviewing in this video, it will be the Nars, and this is my first foundation by Nars because the only other face thing that I've purchased from Nars has been their tinted moisturizer. I'm on tube number 2 of that. I really do like their tinted moisturizer. I'll save that for another video. But for the foundation, this is my first foundation. I purchased it in the color, hopefully you can see that, maybe not. It is Dark 2 New Orleans. That is the shade that I purchased, and it's not focusing for some reason, but Dark 2 New Orleans, hopefully, yep, there you go. Dark 2 New Orleans is my shade. You get 1 ounce of product in here, which is typical in the foundation world. I'll list the price somewhere on the screen, and here we go. This one is named the All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. It's written here on the back, and that small text, hopefully you can see that, but anyway, I just read it to you. I believe the box, which I've since thrown away, said shake well, and can you hear this? Sounds like liquid, right? And that's just how it comes out, like liquid. They do recommend for this foundation, which comes with a pump. I know some of you are concerned about that and you like the pump. For me, I really don't care when it comes to a pump or no pump. As long as I can get the product out easily, I'm a happy camper. But this one has a pump, and people are happy about that, so I just wanted to note that. This sent people crazy online when it was first released, namely because, not because they say that it will last for 16 hours, because lots of different foundations say, you know, you can get lots of hours of coverage on your face with their product. What sent people mad and crazy over this was that, and not mad as in angry, just meant wild crazy, is because this one promises that you can get full natural looking coverage with just 1 pump. Okay, now if you've ever looked at any of the reviews of this product on YouTube, you will see this is probably, and I'm just making a guess here, one of the most polarizing foundations that I've seen reviewed, because people either really love it or really hate it and say that they're taking it back and they can't believe Nars produced something like this, you know. So here we go. Here's my take on it, because I think I understand where the problems may lie. First things first, they promise 1 pump. So many people expected, as I did, to within 1 pump be able to cover your, sorry, this way, cover your whatever hyperpigmentation or discoloration you may have on your face, get it covered in one face, have full coverage all over, look natural, and have everything lightweight and luminous, because you're supposed to get this kind of glow from it as well, and be happy, right? That was the expectation. I think the issue that Nars had was in saying 1 pump. Just say like few pumps or something like that, because you're going to see for yourself in 2.2 seconds how far 1 pump goes. And they recommend, which is what I'm going to do, that you use your fingers to apply this. Certainly you can use a brush or a sponge or whatever you want. It's just that if you are trying to stick to the 1 pump rule, you know that a brush and a sponge will absorb some of that product. So even just by using those tools, you'll have to go back in with more product, more than likely. Okay, so I'm going to use my fingers. Shake, 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 shake. Good. Here we go. One pump. I want you to see what one pump yields. Boom. I just pumped it out. One pump. Right, for this noggin. Okay, let's see. Now I'm spreading it out. Da-da-da. Put some here. Of course, I have to hit that spot up. All right. You know, boom, boom, boom. That was one pump. Already I'm running out of product. But now let me smooth it in. Get that on my face. Okay. Okay, it's pretty much smeared around my hand, but all off. It's kind of drying on my hand, so it's not like I can get that off anymore. What do you think? One single pump. Did it do anything? Okay, so this is not, oh, double chin, not as pronounced as it was before I put it in, but clearly you can still see it. This is by no means what I would consider, you know, full coverage for a spot. So I think that's where problem number one came in, because people were expecting one pump to do it, and then when they saw that it didn't and couldn't, or as it just did not for me, that they had to go in with more pumps. But I just think, and again, this is just my opinion from using this for as long as I've been using it, since I showed it in the whole video, that this requires multiple pumps, but not necessarily 5 pumps or, you know, 4 pumps. I think then you really will get into, especially if you don't plan on using setting powder, you will get into the land of oiliness, especially if you have combination skin as I do, where it's oily in your T-zone. So I'm going to go back in with more, right? So here we go, right? And let's go here, right? Because I want that covered. Let's go here. Let's go here, here. And again, applying it with my fingers as directed by the fine people at Nars. Can you see more of a, let me go here, right? But you want it to look uniform. So even I would go in with probably half a pump more, just to, but look at that, right? Would you say full coverage? And I have to tell you, if you continue playing with this and using it and, you know, applying it on specific spots, you can get a full coverage out of this. I'm not saying that it can't bring you up to the full coverage level. You can get there, but you just need to be careful so that it won't start looking or getting so oily so quickly. And here I am. Boop, 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 boop. You judge for yourself. Okay, so in terms of having a luminous glow, you know, I get a little something something here. Once my oils naturally start coming out of my face and mixing with it, and let's check that dark spot. See that? You can still see it, right? It's not perfect, but again, you can build it up to be perfect, because I have used this to be more full coverage. And look at me here. Right? Okay, so I do like this foundation, and again, if you are targeting certain spots and then kind of concentrating more so on that, and then blending it out to the areas where you may not need as much, it's cool. And then once my oils start combining with it throughout the day, you do get more of that luminous glow, but again, that's because of the oils partly combining. However, I will say, I just used my fingers just now to apply this as is recommended by Nars, but there was a time when I used, because I've used many different tools to apply it just to see what would look best, but I can tell you, I used a wet beauty blender to apply, and I'm going to put the picture right here or somewhere on screen. My face was not oily. It may look shiny to you, but it gave me that luminous, beautiful finish without it feeling greasy or oily or anything. So I have had that oily experience with this Nars foundation when I preceded the foundation application with moisturizer. That was a no-no. I can't have my naturally oily T-zone and moisturizer and then put this, because it turns oily faster than I would like it to. Meaning before, if you think of a typical work day, before lunch or around lunchtime, I'm already a super oil slick if I have on moisturizer combined with what my face would naturally do with its oils, and this if I'm using more than one pump in particular. So I have found that the best case best use case for this foundation for me is to have no moisturizer or anything. I'm typically not a primer person anyway, but to have absolutely nothing on my face, apply this 1.5 to 2 pumps about ish is what I would do, and it just gives me, especially if I don't have anything to cover, 1.5 pumps will do it, cover my entire noggin, and I'm good to go. And it will be pretty much a luminous, slightly glowy look, because again, remember, I didn't have a moisturizer or anything, so once my oils start coming out, it blends in beautifully and it looks pretty good even through like lunchtime period. It's not an oil slick. The oil slick comes in when I have other things added to my face and already my naturally oily T-zone. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10 of whether or not I would purchase this again, this would, because of the finish, like the shade, like I think it gives me a little pop to my look at that, right? I like how it looks. I would say this is, on 10 being I would definitely purchase this again, this is an 8, just because again I like how light it feels on the face. Super light, feels like you don't have anything on. This doesn't feel any heavier on your face than putting on a moisturizer, like a light moisturizer. So this is good. So I like that about it. I've already spent way too much time on this one foundation, sorry, but anyhow, I'm gonna keep it moving. So anyway, it feels light on the face. I like that. This would be an 8 for repurchasing, only because it would have gotten a higher score if I could have actually covered cover that dark spot much better with just the one pump, as they say. As far as 16 hours, no, it does not go at least not with my combination oily skin. It does not go 16 hours. It goes longer when I couple it with a setting powder, absolutely. And I just love the shade. Like it's a really nice shade on me. I think it complements me well. Here we go. So this is it. What do you guys think? Doop, doop, doop. Dark spot, check. Okay. Ooh, that double chin, working on that. Anyway, yeah, there we go. So you can still see it, but again, you can build it up if you wanted to concentrate more on that spot and cover, dab, dab, dab. Phone. Okay. You could go back in and make that, you know, and of course put setting powder on top, and you can work that. I've definitely brought it up to full, as I mentioned already, but yeah, this is the foundation. All right, what do you guys think? Let me know below. All right, so this is the Nars one, level 8 in terms of repurchasing, just because I like the look of it. All right, it gives me some pop to my face, so I like this foundation, how it looks and how light it is. For coverage, not so great if you're using just the one pump. But yeah, so, oh, and this one I should note is paraben free. Okay, not all of them claim that, but we'll talk more about that later. All right, so here we go. Next one up. Hello, I'm back with a clean face. Next one up is the Stila Stay All Day foundation and concealer. It comes with this little brush. The reason why people thought this one was so cute was because if you flip up the lid, it has a little, well, actually has a little mirror up top too, but it has a concealer that is supposed to complement this shade that you, whatever shade you purchase. My shade is in deep, and it says 15 underneath that. Okay, deep 15. And the reason that I like, oh, this is not the, is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. The reason, you just take the lid off. The reason I actually like this one, because I'm not a person who uses concealers, but that one came with it, so, you know, give it a shot, why not? I like that this one has this little scooper. I know some people didn't like that, but I like it because it at least makes me feel like, with this wide open top, that if I had fallen in love with this foundation, I mean, I could have dug out every last drip drop of it just to make sure that I'm using it all and I can really get my money's worth. So I love this type of opening, I really do. Anyway, it has a little shovel-like scooper for you to apply your foundation. Now, as I already mentioned, this one promises that it will stay all day, and you have your little concealer in here. This one is going to be a short and sweet one for me in terms of the review, because let me tell you this, and the brush I haven't really used too much. It feels relatively soft. It's, you know, it's okay, it's fine. You can use it for, now I have used it to, like, if I wanted to put some foundation right around the lips, like with my lipstick, so it looks really outlined well. But anyway, the brush is fine. Here we go. I said to myself, okay, this is a stay all day. And again, all of these foundations that I'm going to be showing you in this video are listed as either medium or medium to full or full coverage foundations. So here we go. This one says that it'll stay all day, and this is also one of the foundations that says with continued use that you will see like an improvement in your skin. I believe Nars said that one too. I'll put a correction on screen if they did not, but I believe they said that as well. Anyway, so this is the Stila one. I had a dark spot a couple of months ago that was right here, hyperpigmentation just from, you know, a bump, typical stuff, right? So I said, oh great, I have my new stay all day thing, and I have the concealer, so I'll try all this. I just have to tell you the story before I even do the on-screen application. So I applied the foundation, and I said, okay, you know, I had to go over that spot like about twice. And I said, okay, it applied, you know, I had to go over it twice, that single spot, but it applied relatively well. Cool. Before I left the house to go to work, it's as if that foundation vanished from that spot and the dark spot like revealed itself again to the world. So before I left the house, I put on some of the concealer. Right, I put on more of the foundation, so by the time I was done I had on that spot. And the good thing about it is it's not so heavy a foundation. It's actually really light, that I was able to put on 4 layers, not all over my face, just spot treatment for that and I was using a beauty blender at the time, and in 4 layers, counting 1 being the concealer and 3 layers of this, right? So 3 times I went over that with the dark spot with foundation, and I used the concealer. I did not use a setting powder or anything, as I mentioned at the outset of this video. On my way, so it was all covered, everything was great. On my way to work, but before arriving at work, I did, you know, a little mirror check. And this is what I saw. Picture right here. That dark spot had again revealed itself to the world. So I was already mad at this one. Now, as is the case with most foundations probably, if you use a good enough setting powder, then it can combat that from happening, from the foundation moving. And also it's probably the fact that I have this oily T-zone combination skin that will cause the foundations to move about. But as I said, I normally don't use setting powder, so it was annoying to me that it had moved and I hadn't even gotten to work yet, and I don't carry foundation or whatever with me to do spot checking on the go. I put it on at home. I expect whatever is going to last will last. If it won't, then hey, that's just how the cookie crumbles. Usually don't really care. So, but for this instance, because I wanted to cover that dark spot and the fact that it had already like moved and I had concealer on it, I just wasn't impressed. And that is kind of my scenario, my final take on this. Not an impressive foundation to me, other than the packaging and the fact that I personally like the scooper, and I like that they give you this little add-on here, and if you're into concealer, that's here too. But in terms of performance, I'm not impressed. Scale of 1 to 10, will you buy this again? 10 being a yes, absolutely. This would have to be at a 5 or less than 5, because I don't plan on ever purchasing this again. But anyway, let's get to the application. This one does not suggest using your fingers, so though I'm sure you could if you wanted to. I'm going to use what is now my favorite application sponge. Thanks for the introduction to these at the makeup show by Kimberly Joy. I'll have her channel linked below. I'm going to do a whole separate video on the makeup show and my experience with Kimberly, who is awesome, if you don't know. So this sponge, and I'm not going to use it wet, I'm going to use it dry. I'm just going to take some off and apply it. Again, focusing on that little dark spot right there, and we'll see what's able to be done here. Here we go. That's how much product I put on. And again, it is a lightweight foundation. I'm just going to like almost do a stippling kind of thing. Look. Right. So again, it is lightweight, and as you can see, it didn't cover that dark spot, like hardly at all. I'm just going to turn forward now. See, and I'm the only one using it, so I feel okay. My face is clean. I dipped the sponge back on there again. But anyway, I just want you to see the difference. This one I told you was in deep 15. Okay, so it may look, just looking at it right now, like it's not blending in with my skin if you look at that shade here. But it really is a good match for me when I put it on. Again, it's lightweight, so it's kind of like your skin is going to be shining through too. And I will explain or tell you later in a separate video what this sponge is. It's not the kind that you would get like at Rite Aid or something. Those sponges may look like this, but the performance is different. This sponge has me saying beauty blender. Who? Okay. So anyway, put some more. Yeah, I didn't do this side. Sorry, looking through this viewfinder thing is. But anyway, if you have absolutely nothing that you're trying to cover, I think this is fine because this feels like perhaps slightly more than a tinted moisturizer. So it's in that same level. And then I also have to say the luminous picture or glow that you saw with my Nars foundation after I applied it with a wet beauty blender, when you apply this to a wet sponge, it has a similar way that it sets. So this can be really pretty, and especially if you're not looking to cover anything, yeah, this is lightweight, it's good to go. Nice little foundation in the summer if you want to wear something that's labeled a foundation. Look at that. That's my second time going over it. And still, as you can see, it's pretty visible, as is the case with the Nars one. But the difference is the Nars one, once I get it to the point where it's covering something, and this is even without a setting powder, once I get it to the point that it's covering something, it's pretty much going to be there and covering it. Whereas this, as I mentioned before, even arriving at work, it was gone. So that was annoying. But anyway, I feel like I don't even want to do or need to do anymore. See how it kind of gives me that like little glow? And yes, I know it's seeing the reflection of the sunlight, but it gives me a nice little finish. And I think the shade is a really good match for me. So I'm happy with it in that regard. But in terms of coverage, this is a no. So if you're looking for something to do some coverage for you, yeah, I'm going right over my eyelashes. Didn't claim to be a pro. If you're looking for coverage, I don't think this is the one you want to settle on. I have another one which will appear in this video, which may be better suited for you. But here we go. All right, so that's a little better. It's a little better, right? So it gives you like some low-key, lightweight coverage. I'll just do the concealer like by my eyes just so you can see what it looks like in this shade for deep. Look at that. Look at that. It's like, yeah, I know I have the bump right above it, but let's just focus on the dark spot. Like, look. Right? Still really out there. So let me take now the little concealer just so you can see what this shade looks like. Like that. Right? Just so you can see. So if you want to do some highlighting stuff, as I was trying to play with this and do that, I just put this on just so you can see the shade. Okay. I'm not going to use setting powder or any of that stuff, but I just want you to see. Yeah. And if I were to put some of that over the spot. It helps a bit more, but again, not entirely. Yeah, so this was my experience with the Stila Stay All Day. It doesn't stay all day. It doesn't even stay for, you know, a few hours. So this one I wouldn't buy again. But again, if I didn't have this on my face and I just wanted to throw on something quick, just kind of to balance out, because in my skin it's more yellow undertone here. I have a bit more of the red undertone over here. Though overall, when I get foundations, I like to get the ones that have neutral undertones. But anyhow, this one, if you have nothing that you're trying to cover, could be cool just if you want to just, you know, put on a little light something something. And see, look at me here. See, I like how that forehead looks, right? So if you want to do a little light something something, this is cool. But I'm not going to be paying this price, which is going to be listed on screen, for just a little something something, especially if you're listed as medium to full coverage, as all of these are, either full coverage or medium. I'll find you specifically, I'll put it on screen what this one is labeled as, but it's either medium or full. And I don't think that's even medium what it did with this dark spot. Do you? I don't know, it felt like lightweight coverage to me. So anyway, this is the Stila Stay All Day. Give me your thoughts. Here we go. Dark spot. So that's it. Now I'm going to wash off this face and hit you with the next one. Be right back.